once we did Saving Ryan's Privates, which I just directed it. There were two writers, Brent Goldberg and David Wagner, and so what ended up happening was once that got out there, then all the agents wanted to sign us, and so my manager sort of led us down that road, and we ended up signing with one of the bigger agencies, and
Gotcha.
kind of started that way.
Okay. So then take us along. Then what happened once Saving Ryan's Privates sort of got you to this next step? What were some of those next professional steps that you took? Did you start to get writing assignments? Did you have some specs that you got out there?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was during the time when the spec market was amazing, and my Steve and I, my writing partner, we were writing specs like crazy and selling them like crazy. I mean, we had great managers, Chris Bender and JC Spink. God rest his soul. We love JC. He was an amazing salesman, and Chris was great at development. So he would help us develop these screenplays, and we set them up all over town, different places, all the studios, and then which was terrific. The only problem was that these screenplays weren't getting made into films, and but we were getting paid well for it. But it still was not satisfying, and so then the writer strike happened in 2008. And we had a film at Fox at the time that we thought was going to go, but then the writer's strike just stopped everything. So I had to kind of figure out, I had kids and mortgage and all that. I had to figure out, okay, how are we going to turn this around? And so I thought, you know what, I got to get back into the directing thing. So me and a fellow writer, Brad Kaya, who had written some things, and I used to work with him on other projects that we sold, we wrote the parody. What ended up happening was we were going around town trying to pitch a comedy, and they basically said to us, unless you're Judd Apatow, you're never going to sell a comedy. It's just not going to happen. So we thought, okay, well, Judd Apatow, obviously he's, this sort of, he's this genre in himself. And because every comedy that was released within those 2 years that we were trying to sell stuff was Judd Apatow. So we thought, okay, well, maybe we should parody those films. So then we which is kind of a weird idea, but we ended up writing this little short trailer called The 41-Year-Old Virgin Who Knocked Up Sarah Marshall and Felt Super Bad About It.
Uh-huh.
So we basically parodied all those movies and put them into this little trailer we shot over a weekend, and we shot it for nothing. And then again, my reps went out with it, and there was a producer who loved it and said, if I can get Fox to hop on board, we can start shooting this thing next month. And I mean, that was crazy talk because I've sold all these screenplays and nothing was ever made. And we didn't even have a script. It was just a trailer. And so a week goes by, comes back to us, says, Fox is interested. How quickly can you get us a screenplay? So we literally wrote it in like 2 or 3 weeks. And if you watch the movie, you can tell that it was written in 2 or 3 weeks. And so we literally Ash Shaw was the producer, and he said we're going to go into production in a month. So it was just so bizarre, that whole process. So we ended up shooting it for like nothing. I mean, it was like a $1.2 million film, but it was the greatest experience being able to shoot a feature film because I'd only shot short films. So we did that, and the movie, as weird as it was and as crazy as the film was, it performed well.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts, or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.